Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be answering your questions. I posted a story on my Instagram and got a few questions, so just wanted to answer them. I honestly didn't really prepare anything, just wanted to have a casual and relaxed conversation, and I'll just be answering things that come to mind. I got some questions about, life as an introvert, but also questions about dealing with stress or anxiety, and also fun questions like my skincare routine, what I do in my free time. So I'm gonna start with the simpler questions. First question is, where is your phone case from? This is my phone. I think I like it. I got this because it matches my actual phone color. I have the iPhone 13 regular in the pink color. Oh, I didn't even answer the question, but my case is from Wildflower Cases, the little logo on the side. I'm not the biggest fan of all their cases, but I just got this one because it was on sale. What are ways you like to spend your free time that don't involve being on your phone? I like this question because I love living life and not just being on my phone, which is hard. Of course, I'm on my phone a lot, but something I like doing is deep cleaning parts of my room, and that takes me a really long time because whenever I deep clean, I really like to look through everything and take my time just sorting through different things and sorting through things to throw out or things to keep, things to reorganize. It makes me feel so satisfied when I'm done with it. So cleaning my room, and also I really like going on walks. I don't do it as much as I should, but if I were to have free time, I would just go for a walk around my neighborhood or go to a park. Honestly, these are all such peaceful activities, especially if you're doing it alone. So even if you don't have people with you in the moment, if you don't want to be on your phone and want a little bit of a digital detox, I would recommend putting yourself outside of your room to just feel life outside. I think that's the biggest thing that helps me. There are a lot of times where I don't want to be on my phone because I just feel kind of gross and groggy when I'm on my phone too often. Yeah. Favorite makeup products or skincare brands that you love? I feel I don't talk about these too much just because I just don't want to influence people to buy things that are just trendy or that are just in the moment, because I sometimes get caught in that marketing. And so I've really been trying to use products that I just really like, and that's not just what's new. And so that being said, for a long time now, I've really liked Round Lab and Dr. G's products. They're both Korean skincare products, but I really like multiple products from those brands. For Dr. G, I use their cream, redness cream, because I have a lot of redness on my face, without makeup. And then for Round Lab, I like their cleanser. It's the blue one. What do you do when you are stressed? When I'm stressed, I really try not to go on my phone just because I think that pushes away all the emotions and all the thoughts that I should be processing. I also try to avoid social media just because it just doesn't help. One thing I do is I go on walks because it just helps me a lot. I realized I think doing something physical, moving my body and just going for a nice walk, helps me a lot. But I guess the biggest thing I do is I do pray, because my Christian faith is a big part of my life, and so a lot of the things I do surround my beliefs, my spiritual life. So I guess the biggest thing for me honestly is praying. Whatever I'm going through, just giving that up to God. I feel a lot of peace just knowing that I'm not doing my life alone, and that everything I go through is not just an individual thing. There is a God who sees me and knows me and understands, and using prayer as a tool to remind myself of all of those things. This is another question that's similar to just managing stress. What helps you get out of your own head and actually start living? Again, I think the biggest thing is really to be off of your phone, to get out of that digital space and to take a breath outside, especially if you are in a space where you should be processing your thoughts and just things that you're going through. I think you should always take steps to process what you are going through, and this can be done through journaling or and expressing the things that you're going through. I think actively working those things out are much better than just pushing those thoughts away. Obviously, everyone does deal with those moments where they just have a lot of thoughts. I think in those moments, I do journal. Journaling is so effective. Someone asked, how do you handle anxiety? I'm very introverted too, and I get really anxious about going out. I have also been in this position myself, and I think if you are in this state, it is really hard. And I think the first thing you have to do is give yourself that grace that what you're going through is hard. Personally, when I feel a lot of social anxiety, I make myself feel more anxious by kind of being hard on myself, thinking that I shouldn't be feeling that way or that I should just get over it. But I know it's not that easy. It's not easy at all. First step would be to give yourself self-compassion and telling yourself that it's okay that you feel that way. A lot of people feel it too. And then after that, I would just take baby steps. Start small and give myself time and small actions leading up to what is more difficult for me. And that is what I've done in the past. And this has helped me a lot because I realized that after taking small steps and exposing myself to more of those environments, I feel my body more relaxed and calm when I'm put in those situations. So I think constantly practicing these things with small steps will help you over time to feel more comfortable with what is difficult for you. I feel stuck in the past. Any advice on that? This kind of reminds me though of like people or like friendships that I've had in the past that I don't really have anymore. I think I like to give myself closure with things or people in the past by just being grateful that those things happened. And the things that happened in the past, I've already lived through it and experienced it and even enjoyed it. And those were all things that kind of brought me to where I am now. So I think putting myself in a state where I can look back and just feel grateful and not any other way, I think that is what helps me. Because sometimes there are things too that I regret or that are hard to look back on. But instead of focusing on those regrets or pains, I think I would rather pinpoint good memories and experiences. Yeah. My friend Jessica asked for book recommendations. Growing up, I really liked those slice of life books. I kind of really like Japanese authors. So one author that comes to mind is Banana Yoshimoto. I also really like the series of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And there's another one, the one I read most recently. I'll put it right here. I like this book. But yeah, I just really like books about like everyday life. The way the authors paint it with their writing is so satisfying to read. How to deal with feeling not good enough and imposter syndrome? Parentheses. I study design too. That's very cool. I love to hear that there are also design students besides me, because honestly I feel very alone. I think it's just because I personally don't have too many friends studying design. I guess they're asking more of like in the design field and dealing with imposter syndrome. I think I feel a lot of imposter syndrome when I'm physically like in a space. Like for example, when I'm in school and I'm taking classes and I'm with all of these other students who are really good at what they do. I feel like it's just really hard not to compare yourself when you're put in that space. I think it's just all about the mindset that you have to actively practice. Because for me, I just remind myself that everyone is doing their own thing. We're not all deciding the same thing. And your goals are also going to be different. Everyone has a different purpose for why they do what they do and why they design. And so I think just staying true to your own mission and your own purposes in your field of study, because that's what helps me. I just remind myself like I want to design for this and I have these goals in mind and I'm doing it all with this purpose. Someone asked, what's your favorite song and do you like any K-pop groups? I'm very out of the loop with K-pop. I think growing up I did enjoy K-pop, but not so much anymore. But I really do like the new K-pop group. I don't like keep up with them, but I've just seen like one music video and I've seen their Instagram, and I really like their branding and the image that they have. I don't even know their name. I just think it's kind of interesting though, because K-pop is so crafted more than the people themselves. It's kind of like the managers and like all the people behind them just creating their images. That's just interesting, but I like their style and I like the whole team behind what they're making. I do like the individual artists. I think my favorite honestly would have to be Sunwoo Jung, and my favorite song from her would be Run With Me. A lot of her songs are just very calm. My friend asked, what is something you learned recently? Parentheses, a deep answer. Something I have been learning recently is that not everything is about me. I don't know if that sounds like negative, but like it is a very healing statement for me, because when I'm stressed about something, I would just remind myself like not everything is about me. There is also a lot of peace and joy in directing my energy outwards and trying to see how I can help others or how I can make other people feel loved. Last one that I'll answer is, what is my MBTI? I am an INFJ. I kind of do switch between INFP and INFJ, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not the type to bank my whole life on these personality tests, but I do think it is interesting, so I'll just leave it at that. I got a lot of feedback and comments saying that they like these talking videos, so thank you. I feel like it's not even much. Like I said, I don't really plan these videos, and I just like talk about what comes to mind. But I think I do want to just create a space that is just casual, hopefully calm, where we can just connect and talk about things that we all go through. Thank you for also being here and for keeping me company. Please do let me know if there is anything you would want me to talk about next. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say for now.